the other round 2 game 1 from yesterday, and this one was not close at the end like the Grizzlies and Warriors. It was Giannis and the Bucks dominating the Celtics from start to finish.
So gather around, boys and girls. Let me tell you an old NBA fable about the best player in the league. His name is the Greek Freak. See, I know everybody gets enamored sometimes with the marksmanship of like a Kevin Durant or the championship pedigree and the longevity and greatness that is LeBron James and up-and-coming players like Luka and the Joker and Embiid, so many great players. But when I watch Giannis play against those guys, and Jason Tatum is the person I'm referring to right now, it reminds me how much Giannis is on a whole nother level than everybody else. He's playing against the guys that certain people are saying that are better than him. Are y'all watching the game? He played against Kevin Durant last year in the playoffs. Y'all know that, right? He's playing against Jason Tatum in this year's playoffs. And the one thing about Giannis is in all phases, Jacoby, he's improved free throw shooter, an improved mid-range. You see Giannis pulling up for the mid-range?
And the
you
playmaking,
Jalen. Pull up for the
playmaking.
Like no big deal. You see how triple-double? What about how he passing it in transition, kicking it to body port his left corner for 3? And how about creating for himself, the up and under, the footwork, throwing it off the backboard? He making players like Pat Connaughton productive. Bobby Portis play above themselves. Like, that's the same side double. The reason why they slump down like that, because he can make that shot now. That's why they're dropping down. He can make that and don't put a small guy on him and try to get the real. You remember when Grant Williams was guarding KD last series? You remember that?
Yep.
You remember that? And like,
yep.
And it was a physical difference. Did you see that yesterday?
There was a physical difference, but it went the other way. It was Giannis just being more dominant, stronger, longer than everybody the Celtics threw in front of him.
And also, here's a contrast of styles. We teaching today. I feel good when it's playoff time, baby. So when it's Steph unlimited range and it's Ja points in the paint, the eye test for the casual fan can underestimate the 2 pit bulls that play point guard for these 2 teams. And they impact the game the exact same way the first 2 guys I mentioned, but defensively. They basically had the same defensive stats this season. I don't know if you realize that. And when one of those guys gives you offense, it's a game changer. And yesterday, while Marcus Smart was hobbled, that player was Drew Holiday. And as my brother Styles P of the Locks would say, Holiday. They was locking down. They was swarming. And so Drew Holiday is a lead catalyst for that, along with Giannis. And so I admit, I was wrong. Dead wrong. I got caught up in the hype. And you know what? Malika Andrews just brought me down to earth yesterday doing countdown. Shout out to my brother Stephen A. and Will Bond working with them, and Michael Eaves and the crew this weekend, Shanae, Richard Jefferson. She made sure she told me, I watch your show, and you ride for Giannis.
Yep. You
more
picked
than
the Bucks
anybody
all season long, and then you're going to switch up in the ninth inning, Mr. Rose.
How can you get caught up in the hype when you see KD? She said, first off, you was the person that said don't break up Tatum and Brown. How when you see KD, you gonna get scared and switch? How when you see Giannis, that's your man. I see you in Milwaukee. That's your man. So again, all praise to the Milwaukee Bucks, and I want to put a bow on this by saying one thing. Darvin Ham deserves to be a head coach next season. Like, you see what's happening with Monty had done it already, but like the younger, like Ime and Willie Green, they're following the footsteps of the Ty Lues of the former players who seem to have their fingerprints all over their teams and are able to not only get them to play above the X's and O's, but also be able to challenge them. Like Ime Udoka, when you watch how he interacts with the Celtics, or Darvin Ham as an associate head coach with the Bucks, it's different from how Steve Nash can interact with Kyrie and KD. You see what I'm saying? Those dudes are going to allow them to coach them. And so when you got a guy like that in Darvin Ham and you see how the roster has continued to develop, I anticipate he's going to be a head coach, deservedly so, next year.